Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing a super exciting video that we are doing my top 10 favorite luxury fragrances. Now, these are not cheap. Be prepared. You're going to drop a pretty penny on them, but in my opinion, they are worth it. I'm sorry, this is a mess right now. Let me see. Yeah. Okay, so much better. Today I am in a wool and alpaca sweater from Vince. I will link this one down below. I have it in two colors. The other color I have not yet shown y'all. It will be in an upcoming unboxing, but I do have it in two colors and I absolutely love it. I recommend it enough. It's a very, very beautiful fabric. So let's go ahead and get started. Of course, I will link all of the fragrances that I can down below. They usually have smaller and larger sizes than I have, so you kind of have options. But I will link like the size I have, and then you can kind of go from there, I guess, and see what they have. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Remember, these are the ones that are the lowest on my top 10. This one, and I know I'm kind of cheating, is two. These are Chanel No. 5, Chanel No. 5 Leu, and Chanel No. 5 Original. I love Chanel No. 5. Pretty much every time I get out of the bath, I spray this on my body right after and kind of let it soak in before I do anything else. And it's one of my favorite rituals to do. This layers really good with anything. I don't like this fragrance, like, literally at all until it, like, dries down. Like, for the first 30 minutes, it's not for me. The next one I have for you is the Jo Malone Gardenia and Oud Absolute. And I absolutely, absolutely love this fragrance. This fragrance, it just smells basically like gardenia. It's a very good gardenia scent. This one is slightly more than normal. And look, you can see all the fingerprints on it because I love using this one. This one is just slightly more expensive than normal Jo Malone fragrances, but I would say that it is worth the purchase. It is worth the extra money. It is honestly not that bad. I want to say it's like $299 or something around that for this size, and I only think it comes in the one size, I believe. The next one was my second love from Jo Malone, and that is English Pear and Freesia. This one, I am like, you can see how much through I am. It is fabulous. This one layers with everything, of course. You know, Jo Malone is a layering brand. That's where I learned it. So it is just, again, English Pear and Freesia, one of my favorites. One that can go with anything, but is perfect for the summer, in my opinion. If you're looking for a good summer fragrance, English Pear and Freesia is amazing. The next one is also Jo Malone, and I promise there are other brands in this lineup, but this one is a Malone Intense, and it is Jasmine, Submac, and Marigold. It is a very, very beautiful scent. This one does smell like jasmine, and I don't really know what Submac or Marigold are, but I can tell you that I love them together. That was so good. I couldn't resist. This is one that I gravitate towards a lot. This is one that I do find myself spraying by itself, and it's not necessarily one that I layer with others, but I also will layer this with Chanel No. 5 or others. But I feel like whenever I just want one, this is kind of one that I do grab for sure. Number 5 on our list is this Louis Vuitton fragrance. Now discontinued. It's Turbulences. I have my initial engraved in it as well. This one smells like tuberose. You can't get this one. They won't even refill it for me anymore. So if I ever came across like a full bottle, if you know anybody that has a full bottle, I want to buy it. This is one of my favorites, and I would love to have more. I would have loved to actually be called by a sales associate, honestly, and have said like, hey, we're discontinuing this. Would you like to refill it before we do so? Because if they had, I wouldn't have like said no. You know what I mean? Like, I totally would have refilled it, even if it was like, I would have decanted this and then refilled it. I don't care. Now it's one of those fragrances that I kind of have to treasure and I can't wear all the time. The next one is another Jo Malone, and that is Myrrh and Tonka. Myrrh and Tonka is a fragrance that can be layered with anything. It can be worn by itself. This is a great unisex fragrance. Everybody smells good in this. My grandfather wears this. Everyone that I know that likes this fragrance smells good in it. Women, men, older, younger, it doesn't really matter. It's such a crazy fragrance. It smells good. I don't really know the notes or anything about it, but I do know that it is one that I would recommend you purchase or even try and get a sample of if you can. The next one I have is this very expensive one. And the most expensive part of this is this little dispenser. It's leather and it's from Creed and it's gold on the inside and everything. It's got the Creed symbol at the top there. And this one is a couple $100s. I want to say this like thing is like $200, and it doesn't even come with fragrance like at all. You have to buy the fragrance separate. So the one I got for this one is Royal Princess Oud, and this fragrance, oh my gosh, I should buy a flacon of this one. I love this fragrance. It is so specific and so like oud-like, but also grassy kind of. It is something that like people will definitely notice that you are wearing. It is loud. It screams that you are smelling good that day. But I have been loving this for special occasions, and I do plan on getting a larger one, the flacon size, so that I can just refill this every time it gets low. The next two are Tom Ford fragrances, and I have a lot of fragrances. I probably have over 80 fragrances in my collection, if not 100. So these fragrances are definitely, if I'm showing you the top 10, are pretty high up there, honestly. The first one I have is Cafe Rose, and Cafe Rose literally smells like roses and coffee. This is like two of my biggest dreams in one bottle. This one I also want to get in a large flacon size, like these that I have from Tom Ford. These are the flacons, and I have two of these. Both of the fragrances now are discontinued, so I didn't want to include these, even though I did include the Louis Vuitton. These aren't really available, so you can't really get them, so I didn't really want to suggest it. But Cafe Rose is just a fragrance that I really think anybody would really love. If you like coffee fragrances or coffee smell mixed with rose or rose in general, I think this is one definitely to give a try. Give it a sniff and see if this is something that you might like. Actually, I mean, I am saying this is one of my top 3 out of like maybe like 80 or 100 fragrances. This is big here. This is a graduation. The next one I wanted to show you is a smaller size. I have this one in mini sizes. I have it in the big one. I have it in the small one. This is a fragrance that I have on me at all times. It doesn't matter what bag I have. I always have a Soleil Neige in there. I also own Soleil Blanc. I like Soleil Blanc, but Soleil Neige is just a much lighter, fresher fragrance that is perfect for summer, although I end up wearing it in the winter too, because it just is one of those fragrances that I really feel kind of goes with me. And every time that I spray this in the car, whenever we're like prepping to go somewhere, one of my friends is always like, OMG, what is that? And I always have to explain that it's Soleil Neige, and I know it's a weird name to remember, but it's a very, very, very cool fragrance that I very much enjoy, and I hope that others will give a try, because this one is definitely one to remember. Okay, and our last one is literally my number 1 out of all of my fragrances, and that is Creed Windflowers. I love Creed fragrances. Creed fragrances are kind of one of my obsessions, but this one is so special. It's like a fiery, woodsy, flowery fragrance. It's perfect for summer. It's perfect for winter. This fragrance it's pretty fabulous. They worked a very long time on this, I believe, and this is one of those ones that I would never want to not have a bottle of. It is super special. It is quite expensive. I want to say this bottle is like $405 or $450 plus tax, but it is so pretty. See the pink color in the inside, and it really is just fabulous. This is one that I would recommend over and over and over again, and never, ever did I think that I would find a fragrance that I liked this much. Okay, those are my top 10 fragrances. Like I said, everything will be linked down below. If you do have any comments, suggestions, anything you want to know, please do just leave a comment in the comment section and I would be happy to respond to you or make a video for you, whatever is most convenient for both of us. Thank you so much for joining us, and if you have not yet, please do subscribe down below. Have a blessed day.